All right, you ready, Sweet Tea?
I'm always ready. It's not Friday this time, though.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
We got to go to California tomorrow, so. Today, we're going to go over my top 10 things you must know when starting a business. So I'm talking about a real business, so being a true entrepreneur instead of a wantrepreneur. I should note though, this is not covered by my board certified behavior analyst credential. First thing you should know when starting a business or being an entrepreneur is that your visions and your ideas are worthless without execution. Insane, fanatical, maniacal execution. I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs and I really respect what they're doing and their ideas, but what often happens is people will have you sign like an NDA or a non-disclosure agreement. They have this big idea. So ideas are really worthless and visions are worthless unless you truly execute on them. Nobody cares that you were the first person that had the idea to be the first Amazon or Uber of trash can deliveries. Nobody cares. So your execution of it is what matters. Number 2, stop thinking that your idea has a whole lot of value unless you execute on it. So along with number 1. So number 2, a way that you can determine if your idea has value is, are people truly willing to pay for it? Are they going to put up money for it? Then you know your idea may have value. It doesn't mean you should sell it. We'll get into that later, but is someone willing to put their money where their mouth is? All right, Sweet Tea, Sweet Tizzle. You ready?
Sweet Tizzle. It's a new one. All right. We're doing that now.
All right, Sweet Tizzle. My third thing that you should know when starting a business is that your time is your biggest asset. You don't need a whole lot of money to start a business. And I've had people on Facebook say things to me like, how much does it cost to start an ABA business or some sort of business helping people? Nothing's more admirable than serving other people and helping others. It may just cost you $500, the business license, registration, and a couple things, and people argue with me sometimes saying, you know, it costs way more than that. That's misleading. But I truly want to tell you that it can cost under $1,000 to start a business. We started this business 15 years ago, and it was on a shoestring budget, and we just bootstrapped it. And the biggest asset you have is your time. So you can work your full-time job, get home at 6 p.m. and work from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. in the morning and just grind, just really press hard. When your time is your biggest asset and you don't need a whole lot of money to start a business, I promise you that, one of the biggest things is that you're gonna have insane discipline. So it's gonna be really important that you don't just have like long Netflix binges, because watching House of Cards or watching The Punisher, well, actually I love that show, but watching The Punisher all night for one series after another every single night instead of grinding and working away is not gonna be the way to get your business off the ground. Number 4, I know you already know this, but work. There are no shortcuts. There really aren't get-rich scheme shortcuts. If it looks too good to be true, then it is too good to be true. So you're gonna be working insanely, like you're gonna work so hard that you bleed out of your eyeballs. Pop. All right, Sweet Tizzle, that was weird, but I really mean it, you can tell. Number 5, along with self-discipline. Self-discipline is really the sum of all your actions over time, repeated over and over, to build success. Anything that you do that's massively successful is because you put your nose to the grindstone, and despite everyone telling you not to do it, including loved ones that are close to you, your daily tiny small actions every single day, and your work outputs and your actions. I gotta give Carl Binder a shout out for the work outputs. Love that guy. Your work outputs and your daily actions every single day, your success is a convergence and a sum of all of those repeated endlessly over time. Just like I always say that water can wear away rock over many thousands of years, your actions, hopefully not over thousands of years, but your actions can really grind away and wear away stone. You can have a huge impact through those actions. You want to play to your strengths later in the game. In the very beginning of starting the business, you're going to truly need to do every single job. My suggestion is that you play to your strengths after you've already built momentum, because everyone just kind of wants to start a business so that they can do what they love to do every minute of every day. You're going to find that 90% of the stuff that you do in the beginning stages of starting that business as an entrepreneur is shit that you do not want to do. The more stuff you do that you don't want to do, the more you know that you're going to be successful. Along with that, I suggest you don't delegate things in the beginning. So when you delegate things in the very beginning, you may not know how to do those things yourself. I'm not saying you need to do every single job, but it would help, and it would help build credibility if you actually tinker and do small bits of each job. So it would be important for you to, if you could really check under the hood and understand everything about the job. There could be 20 different jobs within your company, and you might want to try to sample all 20 of those and in fact try to master some of them to fluency. Shout out to Carl Binder again for fluency. Number 7, if you do delegate after you've learned the job yourself and you've tested it out and you're somewhat proficient in each little micro job within your business, it's really important that if you start to delegate things to people, when you're fortunate enough to have the opportunity to hire contractors or employees, when you're delegating, there's one really important factor. It's probably the most important one that I think, is that you really need to check under the hood and audit everything that people do that you delegate. So don't just expect that because someone said they're going to do something, and don't just expect that you're done, that you wash your hands of it. You have to audit every single thing in the beginning, and then little by little, in accordance with good behavior analytic principles, you can start to little by little intermittently audit these actions that they take when you delegate. Number 8, you're going to need to adapt rapidly to change. You know that saying, if it's one thing that's constant, it's change. Every single day you need to expect that you have to adapt, because whatever your plan was that you set out, there are going to be many factors that throw your plan off, but you have to also be willing to adapt over time very rapidly to technology. So don't be married to any certain process or any certain platform. If there is a certain system that is working, do it, but then realize that that's going to eventually be outdated and you can't be married to any certain system. Just be ready to use the next best performing system or platform. Number 9, really critical thing to know when you start a business. Get an extremely excellent, well-versed mentor, because having the best mentor can save you 10 years of failure. So having a great mentor is really important. You may find that that person has made many mistakes, and their guidance can prevent you from making those same mistakes, and then you have 10 years of failure behind you. Number 10, no margin, no mission. So look, we all want to help people, and what I love about behavioral science is that it helps people at scale. So it helps individuals on the autism spectrum, it helps learners that are typically developing, it helps employees, and it helps motivate them. The science is solid. But you may have this pretty incredible vision, but if you don't have a margin or some sort of margin of profit, you don't have a mission. So in other words, all the things that you set out to do go away. So it's important to know that quite often, the majority of the time, when you have a lot of problems in your business, that sales solve everything. And listen, since you stuck around, I'm extremely grateful. Are you grateful, Sweet Tea?
I'm always grateful.
Sweet Tizzle. I'm gonna give you a number 11 bonus hack for starting a business. At all costs, if you can not do it, don't take investor money. Everyone gets all happy, they celebrate with balloons and ribbon cuttings when someone gives them money, and it's usually some kind of private equity or some kind of outside investor. But realize you shouldn't be celebrating over giving up like 20% of your business. So if that thing grows, you just have to realize that you gave away possibly hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars every year. So I'm not saying that you should not take investor money. I think that can be critical, but do that as a last resort. The more you can grow organically, the better, because if you don't have to give up a percentage of equity in your business, that will go a long way based on your success. Don't celebrate taking other people's money, including loans. If you like what we did, in addition to hitting the subscribe and the bell, do me a huge favor. If you want to help us spread behavioral science or spread science in general, please hit the link that's below here that's for careers at BDA. You may be able to join our team and collaborate and help us spread the science.